Do you want to download thousands or even millions of images from Google automatically? Do you want to create an image dataset for machine learning or for some other task? In this video, I will show you how you can write a very small Python script to automate the downloading of the images from Google or any other search engine. You can even use the same automation concept to do a variety of lengthy and boring tasks. My name is Aditya Shenoy from Brainy Things, where I make programming simple and fun. YouTube statistics show that the majority of you are not subscribed to this channel, so if you end up liking this video, make sure you click that subscribe button to see more such programming videos. It's free and you can always unsubscribe if you want. First, we will import the PyAutoGUI library. PyAutoGUI is a cross-platform GUI automation Python module used to programmatically control the mouse and keyboard. The command that you need to run on your command prompt to use this library will be displayed on the screen right now. Once you run this command, you can import this library. I will use a short alias of PAG instead of PyAutoGUI for ease in coding. We will also require the time library as we want to choreograph the automation steps with fixed time intervals in between. But before automating anything, we need to know how we will do it manually so that we can understand the keystrokes and mouse clicks that are required for downloading images. So for that, I will open my browser and search Taj Mahal on Google, and I will go to the images section. I am taking the example of Taj Mahal, which you can use for, say, creating a machine learning model for classifying 7 wonders of the world. But you can search anything on Google based on your requirements. The steps will not change at all. Now, before downloading any of the images, I would like to tell you that you cannot reuse all the images available on Google for commercial usage. So in the Tools tab over here, you can filter the images based on the usage rights. I am going for not filtered by license as I am not planning to use these images after recording this video. Now, if we click on any of the images in the search result, the image is enlarged and displayed in the top right section like this. And you can navigate to next or previous images by using these two buttons over here. Now, for downloading this image, we need to right click at the top center point over here. You might think why I'm not going with vertically center point as well. The reason behind this is that the images in the search result are of different dimensions and so different height, and thus the vertical center point will change. But the top of the image will always remain the same and the horizontal center will also remain the same. So if we click on this point, we can be assured that we will be clicking on the image section always. Now, to automate this step, we need to know the coordinate of this region of the screen. For that, I will use the PicPic application. You can use any other software as well. The link to PicPic installation will be in the description section. Inside this application, I will use the crosshair function to get the coordinate of the region of the screen. As you can see, this application is showing me the coordinate of the region where my mouse is currently pointing. So let's say we will go with a point over here that is rounded to 1485 and 250. Let's press escape. You should check the coordinate for your device as these coordinates are highly specific to my laptop. So we will first start a for loop for I in range. The number that will go inside this range function will be the number of images that you want to download from the Google. So it can be say 100, 1000, 10,000 or any other big numbers like this. For my case, I will Just use 50 for demonstration purposes. Now, for each iteration, we want to right click on this section of the image that we have just found the coordinates of. So for that, we will use the right click function of the PAG library. We will pass the coordinates, that is 14, 85 and 250, like this. I have passed a tuple, and so this will be the x coordinate and this will be the y coordinate. Now once we right click on this region, we will get a context menu like this. Now there is a slight uncertainty in the position of the context menu. If you right click here, the context menu will open to the right side of the click position. But if you right click over here, there is no space available for the context menu on the right side, so it will open on the left side. For my case, there is abundant space for the context menu, and so I will assume that the context menu will always open on the right side. Now we need to find the coordinate of the save image as button. This step is slightly tricky as the context menu closes as you open the PicPic application, but you can estimate the rough position of the save images. This is 1511 520 or 1515 520. You can always change the coordinate if it is not correct in future. 1515 and 520. Now this time we want to left click on the save images button instead of right click. So we will use the click function of the PAG library and we will pass the tuple of these coordinates inside this click function. This is also a tuple just like the right click function. So after right clicking and clicking on the save image as button, the Windows File Explorer will take some time to load the save image as dialog box. We need to consider this time delay in our program as well. This time delay depends on the processing speed of your device and internet speed as well. For this image, the window took approximately 3 seconds, but you don't want to underestimate this time as it will screw the entire process afterwards. So to be on the safer side, we will consider this delay to be of 10 seconds. Now, once this save as dialog box opens, you can see by default the focus is on the file name text box over here. So we can type the file name over here as our next step. For automatically typing, we can use the typewrite function of the PAG library. This function takes a string parameter, so we will pass the string representation of the I variable. I am using I so that all downloaded images will be numbered sequentially. Here we don't need to specify the file extension, as you can see that it is already set over here in the save as type, and that extension will be appended if you only provide the file name. Now we need to change the folder where the files will get saved. For that, you can either find the coordinate of this region similar to the previous cases, but for Windows users, there is a keyboard shortcut available to jump to the URL section, that is Ctrl and L. I'm not sure whether this shortcut is available for Linux and Mac OS users or not. This shortcut is also available for the browser. If you press Ctrl L on the browser, it goes to the URL section like this. So we need to press Ctrl and L together. To press Ctrl and L together for a keyboard shortcut, we will use the hotkey function of the PAG library. This time we need to pass comma separated parameters like this. The control button is represented as the string CTRL and L like this. Here the order is important. If you pass L first and then control, then it will not work as intended. Now, as the focus is shifted to the URL section, we can again type the folder location using the pag.typewrite function. I have created a folder in my desktop for this. So I will copy the folder path like this and paste it in the program. I will create a folder path variable like this. But when we paste it, you can see that the folder separations is done using the backslash character. But in Python, the backward slash character is used to escape special characters like new lines, tabs, etc. So to escape the backward slash character, we need to add another backslash with it to convert single backslashes to double backslashes. And we will use the typewrite function again to type this folder path. Now let's open the save as dialog box again. Once we press the file and the folder path like this, we need to click on the save button over here. You can again find the coordinate of this button using the PicPic application, but we also have a keyboard shortcut for this. If I press the Alt key on my keyboard, you can see that the letter S on the save button gets underlined. This indicates that irrespective of the focus region on this window, if I press Alt plus S hotkey, this save button will be clicked. So we will again use the hotkey function, and this time the two keys that need to be pressed are Alt and S. Now, after the image has been saved like this, we get a pop-up by the browser like this. So we need to dismiss this pop-up by pressing the escape key like this. So to automatically press the escape button, we will use the press function of the PAG library, and we will press the escape key. Now this image has been saved. We need to click on the next button for the next image to be saved. So we need to find the coordinate of this button so that we can automate the clicking process of this. So I will again open the PicPic application and use the crosshair function to find the rough center of this button, which is almost 1830 and 180. We need to do a left click. So I will use the click function. I will pass a tuple of 1830 and 180 like this. Now we should add time delay between each step. I will add a delay of 5 seconds so that I can demonstrate to you the steps. Time.sleep 5, and after the save as button has been clicked, we need to wait for 10 seconds, as we have discussed that Windows File Explorer dialog box takes some time to load, and here also I will add the time delay of 5 seconds, 5 seconds, like this. So after each step we will wait for 5 seconds, and after clicking on this save as button, we will wait for 10 seconds. We will reduce this time once we demonstrate this. Let's add a temporary break statement to check whether a single image is correctly downloaded or not. I will add a delay of 5 seconds before this for loop so that I will have enough time to jump from the console to the browser like this, and I can wait for the program to continue. I will run the program. I will quickly open my browser. As you can see, the right click has been performed. Now it will click on the Save As button. It will wait for 10 seconds. It will type the file name of 0 like this. The Ctrl L button has been pressed. It will type the folder path, and after 5 seconds the Alt S shortcut will be used. Now this pop-up, to dismiss this, the escape key will be pressed and the next button will be clicked. So, and a break statement was there after this, so the program has been terminated. And if we see, apart from this extra image, we have successfully downloaded one image automatically. Let's see by running this program again to see what happens when there are already files inside this folder. I will again go on this image, run the program, jump to browser and wait. The right click has been clicked. The Save Image As button has been pressed. The file name is 0. That is the starting value of the I. It will jump to the folder URL. It will type the folder path that we want and it will press the Save button. And it asks for the replacement. This is because there is already a file named 0.jpg inside this, so we need to ensure that the folder that we are passing is completely empty before running this program. So I will close this application. To always start with an empty folder, I will import the shutil library and the OS library. Before running this for loop, we will check if the folder path already exists to be on the safer side. The folder path is in this string. If this folder path is already exists, so we will use the shutil.rm tree that will delete the entire tree, that is folder of this. I will add a time delay of 1 second so that the Windows File Explorer will register this deleted folder, and after deleting this folder we will make a new empty folder with the same folder path. Now after we run this program each time, the previously downloaded files in this folder will be deleted along with the directory and a new empty directory will be created. Now I will reduce this time delay to 1 second because 5 seconds was just for demonstration purposes. I will still keep this time.sleep of 10 because the Windows File Explorer Save As dialog box will take some time to load. I would like to tell you one more thing regarding this library. You might wonder if we are giving the control of our keyboard and mouse to a program. So what if the program becomes unstable and clicks on or types incorrectly? In that case, you can quickly hover your mouse on the top right corner or any corner of the screen to raise an exception that is called as fail-safe exception. Let's demonstrate this. I will run the program again, and after some time the right click will be clicked, but this I want to stop this program. So I have quickly hovered my mouse to the top right corner, and as you can see, even after some time has passed, the automation has stopped. And if we cancel this and go to the console, you can see that the fail safe exception has been raised. Also, I will advise you to sit in front of the laptop while your program is running to monitor the steps, because the program can become unstable for a variety of reasons, like random pop-ups from some applications, low battery pop-up, or anything that changes the focus to some another window. Drink coffee, chat on WhatsApp, or do anything but sit in front of the screen to monitor the program. Now I will remove the break statement. I have reduced the time delay between each steps. Let's download 50 images in the form of a time lapse. I hope you enjoyed the time lapse. The time this program took to download 50 images was almost 11 minutes. It may not be the fastest thing to download images, but it surely is automated. This is also safer as search engines like Google don't allow bots to scrape data from their website. Now, what if you don't want to download images from Google search? You may want to download from Bing search. So you can use the same automation concepts that I have shown in this video for Bing search as well. I will go to the Bing and search for the same Taj Mahal text. I will go to the images. I will click on the first image to enlarge it, and as you can see, we can right click on this position after the image has been loaded. Yes, so the save image as button has been moved to second position, and the next button is over here. So if we just change the coordinates of where we are right clicking, where we are clicking, and where we are clicking on the next button, we can use the same concepts for downloading images from Bing search as well. You can also do this for DuckDuckGo. I'll search Taj Mahal, go to images section, click on the first image. This gets enlarged like this, and the next button is over here. You can right click, go to the save image as. You can see that the context menu has opened upwards instead of downwards. You need to make sure you know where the save image as button is located, and you can change the coordinates, these three coordinates: the right click coordinate, the save image as coordinate, and the next coordinate, and the rest of the steps will remain same, because the pop-up, the save image as pop-up will remain the same. And hence, by writing this 30 lines of code that also includes many duplicate lines of time.sleep in between and some empty lines like this, we have completed the automation of downloading images from Google search or any other search engine like this. You can change the number that has been passed in the for loop to say 1 million or any number that you want, so that you can download that many images into your device. You can use this automation to do any lengthy and boring things that you think can be choreographed like we did in this video. If you liked this video, please press that like button. Comment down below what ideas come to your mind that can be automated like this. Share this video with your friends. You can connect to me via LinkedIn link present in the description. The code that I write in all my videos of this channel is available in my GitHub profile, whose link is again in the description. If you want to see a line by line explanation of data structures and algorithms, check out the playlist over here. If you want to develop a hands-on console game development project, then check out the playlist over here. And I will see you in the next video.